Hello everyone, welcome back to the next round of the Castle Combe Karting Championship video. Here going out for round number 3, getting some practice underway. I was feeling quite confident coming into this, had kart number 8, so a bit lower than last time, but yeah, just making a little mistake here in practice, but nothing else happened, so let's just crack straight on with the racing because there is a lot of it to come, as you will see. Starting on pole position is the number 1 kart. So again, I'm in the first race of the day, but that's not too bad. I know I can at least get second, and I get a really amazing start. I'm really pleased with that. Getting down to the first corner, get a big hit from behind, smack into the driver in front. Unfortunately, a bit unfortunate, but not too bad in the end. And coming up the hill, you see I'm getting a good drive out. Goes to the outside, bit squeezed into the wall, but nothing too major. And then I do hit the driver ahead. Hand up in apology, but nothing, no major issues there. Unfortunately, I do drop back quite a lot as I was trying to give up the time, but come lap 4, I've closed right in again, and you can see I'm carrying a lot more speed through that top hairpin. So I'm really pleased with that. But again, then he makes a little mistake there, and I'm right in this tail now. I also make a little mistake, so I drop back a bit further. Now coming up to this final lap, I know I can win this, but it's going to be really hard, and I'm going to rely on a mistake really for the driver ahead. But let's see what we can do. So we're coming up the hill, closing a lot, but still about a kart length back. So I take my normal line, and then see he just goes really defensive there. So I'm right on the outside and going for the overtake and smash.
Come on! Come on!
Not happy at all. As you can see, I'm smacking my hands against the steering wheel. Just not happy at all with that. You see the car even trapped under the tyres. That's how bad it was.
You should know better than that. You should know better than that.
And yeah, I've dropped all the way down into last place. Haven't even put my glove on properly.
But he was ahead, I watched it, trust me. I would have given him a black and white because I watched the whole thing. But it was just, you weren't quite there, so he still had the right to go that way.
So yeah, let's have a look at this again. There was no penalty for this. And you can see as I'm coming into the corner, I'm actually ahead as we're turning in. And so at this point, I think I'm deserved some space. And it's only right on the apex does the other driver get ahead. And you can see we're actually both full on the throttle at this point. I think that should be a penalty. As you can see, smack into the wall. I can understand, though, why they didn't give a penalty. It's only looking back at this replay that I'm able to clearly see that it is a penalty. And even then, I can understand why it might not be. That was a bit annoying to start the day, 5th place, but I know I've got my pole position start. It was actually quite a long time before my second race, so I was really just wanting to get my head down and just get racing again. Here we see getting a brilliant start, exactly what I need to do. There are some quick drivers in this race, but let's not worry about them. Let's just get head down and get going. And that's exactly what I do. I'm coming up now to lap number 4. I've actually got a nice big margin, and I'm really pleased to say this is my fastest ever lap I've ever done around this track. For me, just being able to put away what happened earlier and just stay completely focused on the racing, that's what I want to do. And yeah, I was so pleased that I was able to just put in this amazing lap time. I won this race fairly comfortably, so it meant I've got a last place and now first place. Let's see what we can do with these final 2 races, as I know every single point is going to be really crucial, especially now if I want to get to that A final. Big thumbs up to the marshal. Yeah, let's go on to heat 3. Lining up in 3rd place. I've got a really quick driver starting in 5th behind me, so let's see if we can get through this traffic ahead and maybe take another win. That's definitely the aim coming in. So you get a decent start, nice gap on the inside, stop it on the apex, and then drive out. I do get a bit of a bump behind, which definitely does help as we come up the hill now in 2nd place. Got a bit of a gap behind, so don't really need to worry too much. But now we get a bit of a hit, not too happy, but don't need to worry about defending. A nice wide line in that corner, and unfortunately I'm just really not closing on the leader. I just did not have the pace in this race. I don't think it was anything to do with the kart. I think it was just down to my driving style in this particular race. Just wasn't quite with it. You can see coming up to the top hairpin, don't need to worry about defending. Bit of a wide line, but nothing too major, and then coming into the bottom corner, and then suddenly a car appears and...
Oh, come on! Come on! I'm f***ing pissed!
Not happy whatsoever. It's a different driver as before, but it's the same team.
F***ing hell!
And in last place once again. I'm just not happy at all. And for the rest of this race, I'm just sliding all over the place. I don't know what line that was, but I was completely wrong. I think if I just got going straight away, I might have been able to catch the 4th place, but I'm not happy, as you can see. So lining up for heat number 4, I'm starting in 5th place, my worst start of the day. Right ahead is the driver who crashed into me in the first race. So this could go one of two ways. It could either be a massive accident or it could be really gentle, and I'm really gentle. I do not even touch him at all. I make sure to be extra careful because clearly they're not being that with me. And actually, I get a good drive out. He defends it just in time though, so I kind of have to take a middle of the road approach. I try and take advantage here, but I don't get the drive out, and I don't want to drive up the inside because then I'm going to be causing an accident. I just don't want to do that. I think I actually want to pay some respect to the people around me. And unfortunately for this race, I do get some good drives out. I do get in some good positions, but the driver ahead is just quick enough and goes defensive enough in the right places that I'm just not able to take the advantage. You can see there I smack into the wall as well, bit of a mistake, finishing 4th place. If I'd have been a bit more aggressive, I definitely could have taken that place, but I just didn't want to risk a penalty. So it means I qualify down in 23rd place. That's one of my worst ever performances in qualifying, and it means I'm going to be starting in 1st place in the D final. So here we go out for that D final. I know I'm quicker. The people around me are 1 second a lap slower, which is quite a lot, as you can imagine. And here we go at the start, getting a nice easy start into 1st place. Defensive down the inside, don't want to have to be worried about someone attacking me. Fortunately, there's only 6 cars in this race, so there's not too much traffic. You can see there, you can see I'm looking behind, but got a big enough gap that it doesn't really matter. And I can just drive my race that I want to. And then if I do win this, then I'll be starting right at the back of the C final. And here you see, coming onto lap 8, I do indeed have a nice big margin, probably 3 or 4 seconds. The karts behind, they were battling because it's only top 2 that go through to the next final, and defending that 2nd place is going to be crucial for that driver behind, but I don't have to worry about that. Into the lead, here comes a win. This is exactly what I need. Yeah, nice thumbs up. Very pleased with that one. And that means I start in 7th place in the C final. There's 8 cars now, lining right at the back of the grid. Let's see if we can get a top 2 finish and progress through to the B final. That's definitely going to be my aim here. Here we see, going forward, get a nice start down the inside, and yeah, fortunately I'm able to just make it stick. Don't cause too many incidents. I've actually gained 2 positions right off the start, so that's really good. But the driver comes back at me. I lifted off a bit, not wanting to get involved, but he saw an opportunity, which is fair enough. Fortunately, I'm able to keep the position. But yeah, I'm in 5th place now, and I need to gain 3 more positions before the end of the race. I'm going super defensive into that corner past the pits, as I was told that was kind of an issue why the driver tried to attack me on the previous race. But yeah, here we see driver goes for an ambitious move, and we both actually get past that driver ahead. So now I'm in 4th place. Looking ahead now, the driver doesn't see me coming, so I just dive up the inside, get a nice good overtake on him, and yeah, I was really pleased with that. So now I'm in 3rd place. I just need to make 1 more position, and I'm going to get through to that B final. You see a replay now, diving up the inside, absolute textbook stuff. I was really pleased with that, to get that position. I didn't realise, but the driver behind actually went for an overtake on me as well, and fortunately I was able to hold that position. So that was really close. Now you see lap 3, the lead is changing hands, and so I just want to try and take advantage of this as they're battling a lot. And I go up, and then the driver just goes defensive just in time, so I know I have to go to the outside. I can't afford to lift off. So I go right round the outside, then the driver gets ahead of me as well. So I try and go round the outside again, which I just managed to hold position. Then he's squeezing me into the wall, I'm not happy with that. So I just hold on to the inside, and I get up into that, stay in that 3rd place even, I should say. And yeah, that's halfway through the race now. I just want to be closing on the driver ahead and go for an overtake. So at lap 5, I dive up the inside, I get a bit of a slide and I smack into the side of him. You can see the marshal actually on the right is waving at me, and I didn't realise at the time that he was actually waving me to keep the position because he thought that was fair. So afterwards we chatted, and he actually said that the driver turned into me after I'd already gone past, whereas I thought I'd slid out and hit my rear into him. So I gave up the position, but then I had to defend as well, and that driver still dived up my inside, that could have been hairy. just to say the least. But yeah, coming on now, we've only got 2 more laps to go. I've really only got 2 more chances to overtake, both at that top hairpin. It takes a really defensive line into turn 1, and I know I just need to take advantage. I get a good drive out, I'm right on his tail now. Here we go, coming up. I know I'm just going to go for the inside anyway. I dive up the inside, stop it on the apex, but he gets good drive out round the outside, hangs onto that position. Again, I go defensive into the next couple of corners, just so I'm not at risk of being overtaken. But now the driver has only 1 more lap to hold on. Once again, taking a defensive line at that corner, and I just mess it up. And I'm so annoyed. That's my last chance gone. All I can do now is just hope he makes a mistake. So driving up to the top hairpin, again he goes defensive. I take as fast a line as I can. I have more speed, but I'm a bit behind. And I think, let's go for it. I dive up the inside. I give some space on the outside, and I take the position. And that's 2nd place, and that's qualifying for the B final. Or is it? I'm not sure if I'm going to get a penalty. That is a really borderline decision. Yeah, and here you can see a replay of it now. And this is what the marshals used to decide if I was going to get a penalty or not. You can see I go very late, move up the inside, make some contact. And I just hold the position, but this is what the marshals had to say about that at the time.
Yeah, it's a definite black and white there.
So yeah, they're saying that it's going to be a black and white, which means I'm going to be demoted 2 places.
No, we did that in heat 1!
Not happy about that at all. But then I get told to wait, and after genuinely 3 or 4 minutes, they come back up to me.
Okay. Thank you.
It was absolutely fine, you just bounced off the tyre. It was a hard move, but you were fully alongside.
Yeah. What about that one up there where I gave up? Would you have let me keep it?
Oh yeah, because you were ahead of him.
So yeah, I get to hold on to that position, which means I qualify in 10th place for the B final now. There's 9 drivers starting ahead of me rather than 6 in the previous race. Again, I'm still going to be aiming for that top 2. Let's just see what we can do. So again, make a great start, as I have been doing all day, trying to gain 2 positions where I can. 1 on my left, 1 on my right, and I just can't cut back in, which means I make contact with the driver on my left. And so I slot in to a decent position. I'm in 8th place, that's 2 positions off the line. Then I see some chaos happening ahead, so I go to the inside, but somehow it all manages to sort themselves out. And so I actually lose a position with the driver taking advantage of that around the outside, which was fair enough from that driver, but it's really annoying when I've made a great start and I should be gaining 3 or 4 positions, but just can't. Then a bit of a concertina effect, driver ahead makes contact, so I make contact with him as he stops and sends him a bit wide. Bit borderline for being a penalty, but I get away with it. And so now I'm just trying to gain as many positions. The driver dives up my inside, and I say I'm not having any of that. So I just hang on to the position just. I'm already 2 laps into the race. Now I'm trying to make as many overtakes, and I make a very late decision to go for the inside. I hit the wall on the outside, and fortunately I get a bump from behind, which means I hang on to that position. I was very fortunate to not get a penalty, I think, for that one. But I was very opportunistic at that point to go for that position. Now lap 4, 1 driver ahead of me. He looks to the outside, so he does see I'm there, but doesn't go defensive at all, so I just dive up the inside. That's another position gain. Very pleased with that. And I'm just wanting to make as many positions as I can. See the drivers ahead, they're battling for position. So let's see if we can close in. Lap number 5 now, halfway through the race. I've already made up 4 positions. Can we make up any more? I certainly hope so. And again, I give the driver a bump. He even sees I'm there, and then doesn't go defensive at all. So I just dive up the inside once more. I got fortunate here that a lot of the drivers weren't going defensive, and so I just use that to my full advantage. Don't even wait a second. I'm straight in that position. See, lap 6, now lap number 7, gaining, coming up to this final lap now. I'm closed in on the driver in 4th place. I know I can make this overtake if I'm close enough. So let's just see what we can do. Can I make 1 final overtake of the day? I'm not going to be qualifying for the A final, unfortunately, but let's see what we can do. Coming up now to the hill. Does he look behind? He does. But does he see me there? No, he doesn't. So I go up the inside and I take that position, give a thumbs up to the marshal. He's alright with that. So I go defensive into the next corner, just about hold on to the position. And that is 4th place in the B final. I was so pleased with that. That was an absolute roller coaster of a day. Starting out with being hit off, then my fastest ever lap, being hit out again, qualifying all the way down in the D final, and then making it all the way up to the C final, to the B final. I qualified in 23rd place, and I finished 12th. I made 11 positions. The next race is just around the corner, and I'll see you out there.